Elsa shrugged. I'm sure I mentioned it. I think we'd have remembered. I knew, interjected Hen. Ah, yes. Well, their Hen-Elsa relationship defied explanation. I had never met two more opposite people. In looks alone, they were chalk and cheese. Elsa's ruddy dreadlocks and patched dungarees in stark contrast to Hen's sharp black bob and actual branded maternity wear. Then there was Elsa's commitment to all things natural, organic, and preferably made from hemp, set against Hen's apparently pathological need to douse every surface, including her daughter, in industrial-grade cleaning products. Elsa performed sun salutations and was on first-name terms with the moon goddess. Hen worshipped at the altar of baby Bodin and Petty Bateau. But they'd gone for that whole opposites attract thing and were alternately best friends and arch-nemeses. It seemed to be working for them. Hen smoothed imaginary wrinkles from her daughter's white frock and adjusted the parasol over her. Aurora, just over a year old, was eating strawberries with impeccable daintiness. Next to her, my own son, Jack, was solemnly posting hummus down his nappy. Other than the nappy, he was entirely naked, because babies. My dog, Helen, escaped Ronnie's clutches and came trotting over, one ear inside out and a crazed look in her eye. She gave Aurora's face a hearty licking. For some reason best known to her, she adored Hen's baby. She was broadly indifferent to Jack, whom she lived with and, I hoped, regarded as part of the family. Has she eaten any cowpats? Asked Hen sharply. I shrugged helplessly. It's Helen, said Poppy, who was lying on her back, eyes closed, face to the sun. If it's just cowpats, you'll be lucky. I felt this was a tad unfair, as Ronnie posed almost as much of a hygiene risk as Helen. I didn't say anything, though. Poppy had seemed subdued of late. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Hen sanitize Aurora's face. Weaning's going well, then? Elsa nodded towards where Jack was now stuffing a fistful of grass in his mouth. I sighed and removed it from him. He gave me a deeply hurt look. It's good for his gut bacteria, I replied. Behind me, Poppy snorted. Her own son Noah was curled up next to her. He had inherited Poppy's afro. But whereas hers was small and neat, Noah's was wild and filled with grass seeds, probably courtesy of my own son, it has to be admitted. Mother and son were snoozing idyllically in the shade of an enormous gold umbrella. I watched them covertly. Poppy had always had a driving force behind her, a dynamism that I quite frankly envied. But over the last few months, it seemed to have drained out of her. Of course, she was tired. We all were. Noah and Jack had just turned 1, meaning it was 1 whole year since either of us had slept properly. I just hoped that was all there was to it. It felt as though a distance had opened up, not just between Poppy and myself, but between Poppy and the world. She had barely spoken during the picnic, rousing herself only infrequently to liberally sun-cream Noah. Then again, it was hot. Like, is this really England hot? Too hot for conversation, really. The day had that peaceful heaviness that covers you like a warm blanket of sunshine and invites one of those half-waking, half-sleeping naps. I wondered whether Jack and Helen would manage not to destroy the picnic/meadow/themselves for a full 5 minutes if I closed my eyes. In a swift response to this thought, Helen flopped down heavily in the middle of the picnic, flattening several unfortunate sausage rolls and spraying Aurora with guacamole. Hen squealed, immediately produced an enormous pack of wet wipes and began dabbing at her daughter, who now looked like she was splattered in avocado boogers. Aurora simply giggled and shared a conspiratorial look with Helen. Luckily, I was saved from Hen's wrath by Poppy, who had half opened one eye at the commotion. "Oh, look, people," she said drowsily. I squinted through the sun to where 2 figures had emerged from the cluster of ancient trees that grew in the centre of the meadow. I couldn't see so well because I had lost my sunglasses, by which I meant